So I'm working on some what I call steampunk pieces. This would be a sugar set, or sugar, and this would be a creamer for a cream and sugar set. I have the tray over there, but I'm going to show you how I distress these to make them look a little bit more mechanic, so that there's areas of distress and there's areas of wear, and that some things still look bright on maybe parts where it wouldn't get worn. And in the end, hopefully these look like old, worn steam train parts, or parts used from a steam engine. So what I've done already is, they're thrown and they were bisqued with a layer of iron oxide and copper to give this first base coat. So I tried to fill in most of the cracks and get a good base color on, so that the additions that I put over it, I don't need to worry so much about getting every nook and cranny. I can be a little more free with what I do. And then on the gauges and the handles, I put a red underglaze that I will further distress and put clear on to make shiny in places. So inside these gauges are going to be, I'm either going to copy, like get a photocopy of real antique steam gauges, or make up my own that will be laminated and placed inside, and then a glass cover will get soldered in over it, so it'll look like a real gauge. It won't work, but it should look like it would. And on the back, I have screws, that will hold on the back of the gauge plate, my name, and the little parts to hold this on. On this one, there's going to be gears that get set inside of it. So I'm making like a clockwork almost that will fit in this area here. I call this the gear hole. And then this guy is the creamer. And this one has a gauge, which is one of the parts that I've been implementing in the steampunk thing. This one will have gears. So on the inside here, they won't be functioning, but it'll be a clockwork. And I might have some things that can move, like if it's turned and stuff. But there's going to be a set of brass gears that will then also have a glass cover that will be sealed and soldered in. So that's that. So I'll distress the creamer here. So the first thing that I want to do is coat everything that I don't want to be patinaed, because eventually these are going to be completely washed in a glaze and then rubbed off. This is almost like the prep for it. First thing I want to do is coat the stuff that I want to keep white. I want to keep this white and clean in case, you can see through the paper or whatever I put in the back here. I want to make that clean looking. So that's the first thing I'm going to do is wax. And I know people are going, oh no, he's using wax. But this is a necessity. I can't keep it white without this. And even so, I may not be able to keep it white because there's so many more processes I'm going to do to this, and I can't wash it between each one. I'm being careful not to get it on anything else. I've actually thickened the wax up some, so hopefully it won't drip. Get in all the nooks and crannies. So that's going to be waxed. And then on the back here, I've got these little screws. And I want these little screws to end up looking metallic. So I'm actually going to coat them with one of my glazes that I know will look metallic. This isn't like a food safe glaze. It's not something that you're going to want to put on something that's going to be coming in contact with food, but this is not coming in contact with food. So I feel safe putting on, it's a high manganese glaze, and it's got some copper and some other things. But I'm just going to go and cover all the little screws with this so that they will be shiny and metal looking. And a thick coat I found on this is better, so I can almost just kind of put a glob on and let it dry, and it'll show the detail again, and that way it'll be thick enough to really be metallic. Did the screws. I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to wax over those so that I can get all the little nooks and crannies that I didn't get with the patina. what other things can I wax here? That's good. Actually, I'll get these other screws too while I'm screwing around. So I'll probably cut this out and we'll go right to the next step. So you don't need to see all that. So the back here is now dried. I'm going to hit the tops with some wax. Well, hopefully I put it in the wax and not the clear glaze. Just closer to it. So I'll just wax the tops. Tops are the only really important part. The rest of it can get buried in patina. What else is ever going around it? I just want the tippy tops, the parts that would get brushed and stuff, to be waxed. There we go. So I'll let that dry, and again I'll wax the other things that I've just put that glaze onto. So we're good on that. The handle here, I'm going to put a little bit of black into the grooves and wash the rest of it out. And then patina it with the sea sponge. And wax it so it doesn't get hurt. So this is pretty much dry now. I'm going to put some black underglaze in the little crevices here and in the spots that I didn't get with the red when I started. And this is kind of a mixture of underglaze. It's mostly, if I had to guess, Laguna Black Underglaze LUG1, but some of it is, oh crap monkeys. Well, that'll be glued on. Beep, 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 beepity beep, 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 beep.